justice for all.
I'll read the notice that was sent out. Notice is hereby given to the Town of Shandaken Zoning Board of Appeals with hold a public hearing pursuant to section 267B, Article 11 of the Town of Shandaken zoning law and as prescribed in district area and bulk regulations of the Shandaken Code for the purpose of hearing comments relating to the following application. An application for area variance submitted by Jerry Gallo for a parcel located at 196 Route 42, Shandaken, New York 12480, further identified as SBL 5.1-2-16, located in a residential 1.5 zoning district. The applicant would like 12 feet of variance on the rear setback, 15 of variance on the side yard setback for an art studio shed without plumbing allowable within the zoning code. The public hearing is scheduled for now. And then our office has not received any comments. We sent, there's 3 notified abutters, and no comments have been from any of them, and then nothing, so, and you're the only one here, it's your house, so. We'll just give it a few minutes, maybe?
Yeah. Make a motion to open the public hearing?
Oh, sorry, sure.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let me take attendance. Take attendance, right? Sorry, we're doing this backwards tonight. Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti,
Here.
Alan Bella, Christian Lynch,
Here.
Hank Williams.
Here.
So you have a quorum, and Gary Guglielmetti is acting chair.
So there was no correspondence at all?
None. But it's 2 sides and across the street,
Yeah,
and none.
it seems like nobody's here,
Mm-hmm.
except the applicant.
Yeah. I don't know how long you have to keep your public hearing open. Minutes? 5?
There's no requirement.
Okay, so are we good to move on?
Yeah, we're good.
Let's close the month,
Yeah.
right?
I make a motion, we close the public hearing?
Okay, second.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So would you like to open your regular monthly meeting?
Yes, let's open the monthly meeting. And I guess we have to approve the minutes.
Yeah, do we have to approve the applicant's?
Well,
No,
To
we did
open-
that, we did at the meeting.
Oh, okay.
At the whole-
to open the monthly meeting, I need somebody to second it.
I'll second.
Christian, all in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna take attendance again for the regular monthly meeting. Can I see the front page? Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti,
Here.
Alan Bella, Christian Lynch,
Here.
Hank Williams,
Here.
and Gary Guglielmetti is acting chair, and you have a quorum of 3. So next is your minutes from last month that are in your packets.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then now it's your applicant, I don't know if you have any more questions.
Okay. What color is your shed?
Ask my wife, no, just kidding. We'll see, black is kind of popular these days, but I might just go with more traditional. Wood grain. Inside I want it light because I'm a painter, and I need some light space. So, I'm excited for it, I appreciate it, and I appreciate the process,
Yeah. So it's 12 by 16.
yes.
Is there anyone in here with any questions? I make a motion to approve the application as submitted.
I'll second that motion.
So this, this is a resolution, so you have to have attendance, like you have to take you have to do a roll call vote. So, Mark Lodi, Gary Guglielmetti,
Yes.
Alan Vela, Christian Lynch,
Yes.
Hank Williams.
Yes,
It's approved.
congratulations.
So,
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
if someone says no, they have to.
Should make your wife very happy.
So that's
She'll
why
be
you
happy as well.
have
She'll
to
see a little
do
less than me.
a roll call. I can't say all in
I'll
favor.
be across the yard, but she'll see a little less than me.
Yeah.
But very seriously, thank you all very much.
So I have all your application for your building permit. If you wanna come in tomorrow, we can go through that.
Great,
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Take care, folks.
Good night.
Bye.
6:50.
I make a motion to close the meeting.
Oh, God.
Well, let's talk about some comments first, if you don't mind. Sorry, 10 minutes of your time. So, you know, the zoning board, just, I think, we know I'm leaving, but some things to consider down the road is there's some really interesting laws that you all could take a look at that may, like, take fresher eyes. I think the contractor's yard thing is complicated in this town. And I, urge it, I wish it was, personally, I wish it wasn't here, cause I don't know where every single person who makes a living here full-time year-round should keep their equipment, cause we don't have a lot of commercial space either. And I think it's really difficult to pick, it feels like you're almost cherry picking a little bit when there is a call and a complaint and you look at it, and then you feel like, well, that's one piece of equipment, but so-and-so has 10 pieces of equipment. It's just a hard one to conceptualize. And then also in 1976, when this book came into place, something was going on in the politics of the world that it says there's another part where it requires them to be eliminated in 3 years' time. So that's just not even the nuts and bolts of the
Exactly.
Catskills.
And that's been with us for a long time.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to look, I would take a look at.
Right.
And then, you know, like other things, like there isn't the definition of restaurant in there, and I know that was brought up last year to start looking through stuff like that as the zoning board, you know? And situations like this, if you look at highway business, I've talked to Peter about it today too, if you look at highway business zoning, and it is an impossible task to meet those setbacks in those zones. They're all undersized lots, they're all half an acre, and they have 60 feet from their front and their back and 40 feet from their sides. I mean, I don't know, you can't change the zoning, but it's like, we have another pool applicant next month. And it's just like, this is the law that we've made. You're not gonna meet it. You have to come here and ask for it. So that, you know what I mean? It's really,
And the thing is, and that's the purpose of our board,
yeah,
because in order to remedy that, the town board has to amend the zoning board.
right.
And it has to be the majority plus one in order
Yeah.
to change, to make an amendment to the
Yeah.
zoning. And
But
that's
can
what
they
we
take
do.
your suggestions? Can they take the zoning board's
Oh,
suggestions?
no, that's what we do.
Good.
I mean,
Okay, good.
we
Yeah, okay,
we
good.
can let you put the pool 1 foot from the, if
Yeah.
we,
Yeah, if you wanted to.
and what it comes down to, as long as you don't have an adjoining neighbor, that's, you
Pissed.
know, that's really like,
Yeah.
then it's never an issue.
So this applicant, the adjoining neighbor is themselves. They own the two properties. Now, sure, if they merge their lots, they could fit their pool.
Right.
But takes equity out of their real estate to have a pool
Right.
that they're never going to fit
Right.
in highway business.
But that's what we do, and normally we've always been, and that's what we do,
Understand.
we give relief, and that's what we're here for, to give relief, because the zoning code is so stringent.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, you can't put a doghouse in.
Yeah,
If
you
you
can't
really
do
read that
that.
code.
Yeah,
and
no,
the
I
way you
mean, I
look at
would
it,
throw up.
And
It's
in
terrible.
76, prior to 76, there wasn't any zoning.
Yeah.
Then in 76, they had the zoning. Then they got this guy, Art Broad, in 1991 from down in Putnam County. And they basically copied that.
We were just, yeah.
They copied that. And you can't compare us
No.
to
To
Putnam
Putnam.
County.
Yeah.
So we're a very rural farm community.
Yeah.
Just like a few months ago with
Chickens.
hikes with the
Yeah.
chickens.
Yeah.
I know. All right, that's it. It's just my hope is that this gets like looked at, right? That's all.
Yeah, one of the problems is that they define everything in there. they tried to, like restaurants, you know, there's always past practice with restaurants and how they've been operating for 100 years here.
Yeah.
So that restaurant thing was probably good for Putnam County or Westchester, wherever it came from.
Yeah.
But in this environment,
It's
and,
different.
you know, in such a small, you know, if you look at Shandaken, only 22% of the real estate here is owned by private individuals.
Yeah.
And out of that, a lot of it is non-conforming properties.
Absolutely.
And those are the properties that we have to look at, and Gary is, you know, explained that to me time and time again about,
Yeah.
you know, looking at it where it's, you know,
Yeah.
100 years ago, that's what they did, you know, they threw a rock. And they
Right.
said, is that enough property, you know?
Yeah,
And he
and
said,
you
no, they picked it up and threw it further.
Especially in your, you know, your neck of the woods,
Yeah, yeah,
at Chippewa Valley, and
Yeah.
that's like, you feel it.
that's
like,
a
you
rough
couldn't
neck
throw-
there.
And some of me couldn't throw very far, you
No,
know?
well, you know, Hollenbeck was getting older, Lou
He could
Hollenbeck.
not
He
throw
couldn't-
far.
You know, he had shoulder problems.
And you wanna talk about zoning, you gotta see the houses he built.
No, I
Yeah.
have sadly,
Yeah.
I've had to be
He
in
just
some, and
put
it's
them-
like, holy moly. But I think that, yeah, it's tight, and then we're also in the watershed, and you can't do anything in your undersized lot until you get your septic approved from the DEP.
Right.
Then we can talk about possibly some of the things that you might be able to fit. So when they do a new STR law and it passes, they're going to reprint all the books, and zoning board and planning board will get new books. But, I don't, let's look at some other things, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
think-
anyway, we should actually close the meeting.
Yeah, sorry, that was
Because
it.
we're on camera right now, this meeting.
Yeah, that was it, I just,
Yeah.
under my comments, as a zoning officer who's leaving, I find some of this stuff would be awesome to take a look at again.
Maybe in the very near future, the board and the board here can look at the entire book and maybe take out some of the things that really don't apply or can't apply,
Yeah,
and that we have to adjust to make it work,
yeah,
and redefine and redo the whole book and kind of condense it a little bit so it's not so confusing and difficult to,
yeah,
you know, maneuver through.
yeah, and give some new definitions, suggestions to the town board to consider. All right, so you're gonna make that motion,
Make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Christian, all in favor?
Aye.
6:57.
Thank you for that, Sarah. That
You're
was
welcome. Okay, good night.
All right. and-
Sarah, you were asking or mentioning the kind of contractor yard. So is this something coming up new that I'm
Always.
unaware of?
You know,
So it's something that's kind of always comes up and.
you know what it is, a contract, you know, this isn't a meeting now, but,
Yeah,
you know,
meeting's
what
over now.
happens is contractors, you know, they start out small,
And then
they're growing their business and they develop, you know, they buy another piece of equipment or another piece of equipment and they all end up on their property, and then the neighbor gets to a point where the neighbor starts complaining, and then you look at that particular one, but there might be 15 or 20 others in the whole town.
To be fair though, that the code doesn't say anything in specificity, so if you mow lawns, do you have a contractor's yard? If you plow, you have
Right.
one plow in your truck, is it a contractor's yard?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
tough. It's tough to enforce, I find. I find myself up against a wall a lot.
But we're still being taped, though.
I know, I'll tell anybody, please come to my house and have dinner and tell you how much this is hard for me. But okay, you're right, let's go.
Yeah, it's over now.
Yeah, it's over, let's go. What's the information? I'll put this upstairs, Christian, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Gary, see you,
All right,
buddy.
man.
You be well.
All right, you too.
Okay, so this is what you're
How
looking
you
for.
doing?
This is what I found in
He's
there.
looking good.
Wrong
I
board.
saw him a couple, I saw him a couple times with Walt. He looks good.
He's looking good and he's doing good.
February. Oh, respect.
Nice to see you again. Okay, bye.
Oh, thank you. I know.
Well, Sarah, is this gonna be your last meeting?
Yeah. I know,
Yeah.
I know. I hope it's not that. I thought he was just doing it to get money. I know, you're right. We weren't even allowed to print it on paper. Yeah, she won't though until we all do
How you feeling?
it. Okay, so, just text me later. Okay. She will continue.
I don't see you, I'm worried.
Where you going?